Hey everyone, Dasher Tech here, and it's been a while since I've reviewed any show, but I figured since I've seen half of Rebels and I know a lot about Ahsoka, I could review this Ahsoka show. So after reluctantly paying the mouse, I'm here reviewing Ahsoka. So, what do I think about the first two episodes? Well, for starters, I've always been a sucker for lightsaber massacres.
We are no Jedi.
So yeah, right off the bat, you have these dark Jedi trying to break out that woman Ahsoka fought in her episode of The Mandalorian, setting this show presumably around the exact same time. She and her dark Jedi accomplices are on a quest to find the Lament configuration, which will help them find Admiral Thrawn. Of course, Ahsoka is also looking for the Lament configuration so she can presumably kill Thrawn and prevent another war. Oh, and I guess save Ezra as well. Show starts off with Ahsoka doing some cool Indiana Jones shit, tomb raiding a weird temple that was presumably built by the Night Sisters. She spends like 4 minutes in this chamber looking for the damn thing until she finally finds it. Which I guess brings me to my first complaint of this show, the padding. Yeah, the premise is cool and all, finding a treasure map that looks like the Lament configuration to find Ezra and Thrawn. It's a race against time, against a Order 66 survivor, yes, another one. All that's good and all, but it's way too slow. So yeah, after 4 or so minutes, she finally finds the damn thing, has a cool standoff with some HK droids. Another cool fight sequence breaks out, but just as she's about to win, the robots all detonate, all but destroying the temple. Ahsoka then meets up with Hera, who is great in live action. I really like her. I was worried how the Rebels characters were going to translate into live action, but seeing Hera made me less worried about that. And my God, was I wrong.
Here to say a few words is one of those rebel leaders, Commander Sabine Ren. Sabine Ren.
Where she went.
Get out there and say something.
What?
Cover for me.
Holy hell, is Sabine so unlikable compared to her Rebels counterpart. She presumably snubbed a ceremony celebrating the Battle of Lothal because she's sad about Ezra. But skipping an event where you're expected to show up is just so juvenile and immature. And there she is on the Lothal highway being chased by some New Republic starfighters set to freaking K-pop music. I'm not kidding. There's K-pop music in Star Wars now. Sabine, so far, is the absolute worst aspect of this show. And it doesn't help that most of the show is based around her relationship with Ahsoka. Because apparently she's force sensitive and trained with Ahsoka for a bit until they had some sort of breakup. The undertones of this apprentice and master breakup do not escape me, but whether or not Disney follows through with it, by the end we'll wait and see. You can never tell with them. The one thing I do like about her is that she really does seem like the one who's been affected most by Ezra's absence. Yet this sadness does not justify the awful and stupid behavior she shows over the course of these 2 episodes. Like when Ahsoka reunites with Sabine to get her help with the map. She specifically asks Sabine to work on the map on the ship. And only on the ship. Because she knows those Dark Jedi and HK droids are out there. So I have to ask you, what do you think she does? Why, she freaking steals the map, of course. Take that, ex-master slash girlfriend. That'll teach you to trust and rely on me again? And oh, what's this? The Dark Jedi apprentice spots her while she was mimicking a scene from The Phantom Menace. Sabine is able to figure out how to solve the lament configuration by reviewing the schematics of the temple that blew up in the beginning of the episode. Sabine Ren, you have solved the sphere, and for that, your soul shall be ripped apart. Okay, that doesn't happen, but what does happen is she does get attacked by the 8K droids. She then cries out for Ahsoka to save her on the intercom. Even though Ahsoka warned her this was going to happen, she's now forced to face a Dark Jedi alone with Ezra's old lightsaber. And of course, her hideout is so far away from the city. It'd be a miracle if she could hold her own. And of course, she can't. In fact, she dies. Lol, JK, she's alive in the next episode. And by the end of this second episode, she's able to walk and stand. Which brings us to my third biggest complaint. Something that doesn't just affect Ahsoka, but the entire Disney Star Wars franchise. The nerfing of lightsabers. Lightsaber stab wounds don't mean crap in Disney Star Wars. Yet anyone who's seen the older movies knows direct stab wounds are extremely fatal. How characters like Finn and Sabine are able to survive so many fatal cuts, it's completely immersion breaking. Let's replay the scene again in slow motion. I'm not a doctor, but from the entry and exit point, if the blade touched either her liver or large intestine, it would be on fire. Lightsabers don't work like normal swords. Only specific rare metals and other lightsabers can stop them. Qui-Gon Jinn was famously murdered by Darth Maul after getting impaled with his lightsaber. He managed to stay alive for quite a while, but he could not get up, and his last words were very weak. Palpatine took out 3 Jedi Masters with just a few saber strokes. They all died in seconds. I have no doubt Star Wars has amazing healthcare. But the idea that a few days in bed in this little circle is the only consequence of that stab wound? The absolute worst part is I love every time the bad guys are on screen. The main plot is so much more interesting than this subplot that engulfs most of these episodes. That subplot being the strained relationship between Ahsoka and Sabine. Ahsoka investigating planets and looking for clues, raiding temples, while the bad guys try and find a pathway to another galaxy to save Admiral Thrawn and restart the Galactic Civil War. Please, Ahsoka, give me more of this, please. But no, not only did Sabine give the bad guys a head start with the map, she wasted countless scenes we could have had with Detective Ahsoka. And yeah, that's the guy from Colony right there. So we learned that the HK droids came from this factory on Corellia. And even though the New Republic has taken over the factory, some of the workers that worked during the Empire's time still work at the factory. Something about money being more important than politics. Damn, here we go again with Sabine and Ahsoka's estranged relationship. Who is this person? Because it's certainly not Sabine. Now, I'm going to show you the funniest part of the episode.
Shit, that's an order.
God, I hope that becomes a meme. Now, for the remainder of the episode, it stays good. Ahsoka fights this mysterious Inquisitor guy who's either Ezra or someone from the Clone Wars cartoon, aka the prequels. Meanwhile, Hera and live-action Chopper have this really cool chase sequence This has to be up there with the chase sequence from Attack of the Clones. This was fun. And we get another badass fight simultaneous with it. My favorite part was when Chopper flexed after he put the tracker on the bad guy ship. But alas, all good things must come to an end. Sabine used to be such a light-hearted character, but I don't know who she's become. I can't imagine what it's like for people who haven't seen any of Rebels or Clone Wars. Anyways, Ahsoka is going to give Sabine another chance at apprenticeship, even though she fucking lied and gave the enemy the map, in bed and on her feet in the same exact episode. The show is full of extreme highs and extreme lows, all at the exact same time. It keeps it from being mediocre, but it keeps you debating with yourself whether or not you should love it or hate it. On one hand, the setup is great, and on the other hand, Sabine is sucking up so much of the plot, and absolutely none of it is entertaining. Well, I already paid for a month at Disney Plus, so I might as well finish what I can. It's actually a lot of fun to do a review like this again. Thank you all for watching my review. Please let me know how it was. What are your own thoughts on Ahsoka? Let me know in the comments. As always, I'll see you all next time.